Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legends Symbiosis. We have a couple of things that we have to get to before we can move through the end of the turn. First of all, an offer of truce from Purple. Absolutely not. We are crushing them and we're going to continue crushing them. It's great. Secondly, look at this. I didn't take the debuff book off of Ozek the Chosen after that quest was over, which is definitely a pretty huge error on my part, but in my defense, I think what happened is I just sort of assumed that the item would stop existing, because why would it not do that? Like, it's a purely negative piece of equipment that exists solely for the purpose of being equipped for this one quest. When you get to the end of that quest, why would this item not just disappear? Like, if I take this off, is it still going to be in the menu? No, it's not. So like the item has stopped existing in our equipment list. Why would the one on him also not have stopped existing? That, I would go so far as to say that that's a design oversight on the level of a bug. We are now bringing in some adamantium, so it won't cost us any money to equip the guidebook. We don't need to buy the resources. But I think I'm going to hold off on this until a time when we actually have citizens on science or influence, because we might want this adamantium for buildings or weapons and stuff. So let's hold off on that. But yeah, we got to remove that debuff book. I did a bad by not unequipping it, but also it shouldn't be a thing that you can do like that. That's a ridiculous problem to exist. So we have access to the Advanced Alchemy Lab, which we very much want. The cryometric monitors are going to be incredibly good for us. We just need a huge amount of titanium. Unfortunately, we don't have access to that much dust right now. How much titanium is on the market? Okay, a ton. It's quite expensive, though. Wow, that's expensive. Like glass steel is half that price. Alright, well, we have some money. Mithrite sells very well at the moment. Okay. So what I would really like to do is just pump out these two buildings back to back. We would need to purchase probably 20 titanium at most to get that done. It's going to take 1 turn to build this, 2 turns to build that. So we're going to get 1 or 2 points of titanium naturally. Plus 15 science on terrain with anomalies. I'm going to assume that the cryometric monitor effect only applies to anomalies that are being touched by the main city, not all anomalies that are being touched everywhere. The whole thing with our cities only sort of being cities and kind of just being extensions of the main city in that they feed all their resources back to the main city is sort of weird mechanically, but I'm going to assume that upgrades like that to the main city do not apply to the others. So right now we're on the 4 anomalies that we found it on right here, plus this massive tree, plus this life tree, plus this massive tree. So we would get this bonus 7 times, or plus 3 science on city center. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the better build. So let's go ahead and just buy ourselves 11 titanium. Which we can do by selling off some mithrite. I don't think we want to sell anything else. The mithrite has a good combination of being extremely valuable and something that we're very far from getting any use out of. Okay. Let's get that in the queue, and that's like tremendously important. Do we even want to finish this ended first? I kind of think we don't. And then by the time it's time to build the alchemy lab, we will have generated 2 more titanium. We'll buy 8 more on that turn. We're actually making pretty good money now that we have our money buildings in place and everything. So that shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, also, some people had pointed out that Mykaran watchtowers are very powerful because they exploit all the tiles around them. As you can see, that is not actually the case right now. They gain that ability from this tech here. You can see at the bottom of the Mykaran Remotoscope Factory, the description +1 exploitation area. So, my understanding of how these technologies work is that I do not need to pick up the earlier versions of the Watchtower, we can just take this tech when this becomes available, and we will be able to build rotoscope factories. It's not like we have to upgrade them through their earlier stuff. So, like, we probably won't bother with highway outposts, which would upgrade us to lookout towers from just normal towers. But I do think that we're going to go ahead and go after Imperial highways here. I mean, food is very important. We also, like, the dust alchemy for the dust transmuter will be pretty good. Our city has a lot of tiles. You know what? We're going to take Plow Factory first. I'm going to keep trying to pump our food growth. So our research rate, is definitely better now without the book. So that's a good long-term note. We do definitely want to pick up the rotoscope factory tech, but I am not. I mean, each one of these does get us another tile in the Empire. Does get us another fungal growth for all of our bonus regeneration stuff. It is probably worth. Yeah, it's probably worth getting the trade tech next, so that we can build the basic watchtowers and just start exploiting all the tiles. Also, speaking of exploitations and growths, do we want to grab the resources that are on this island? Another thing that somebody pointed out in the comments of the previous episode is that... where am I going here? Here. Stuff like this is super valuable to us because facilities are not extractors, and as such, their resource output is not weakened by our extractor weakening trait. Definitely the case, and definitely something that's worth thinking about. A more naval start, a little bit more effort toward a naval start will probably be worthwhile with these guys. We were not really in a great position for it this game since we're so far from the major ocean. So, also, just out of curiosity, hey, you guys, how much do you value... Okay, they do not have statistical methods. They value it quite a lot. They would almost be willing to give us a city for it. How likely do I think it is they're going to win? And where is Lighu? They would give me a city that's right on the border with the necrophages. That's maybe a big no thanks right there. What about Doyak? How far are we from being able to trade for Doyak? Okay, that's doable. Do they value anything else that we have? They value our pearls quite a lot. Understandably. The Symbiosis trait gives us a reduction on the cost of commercial and research agreements, which would actually be nice. Because we are not interested in having our diplomatic stuff cost a lot for the purposes of diplomatic points. We don't care about that. Extra bonus on trade routes. And the 8% of every transaction fee paid by other empires thing is just free money. I know we were trying to get to a point where we could actually buy important stuff. And like, I'm very curious how the chapel works with these guys. How many pearls would it have to be? 12 of my pearls, so I'd have 8 left. We're pretty far from winter. There's 5 turns left on this eclipse. Okay, can we do it in any other way? No, I honestly... It doesn't... It looks to me like it might be the case that all of our resources combined... All of our other resources combined don't get us there. Not that I would do this even if it did. Yeah. It really does have to be the pearls. And again, I'm concerned that blue is the player who is in the lead. So trading them a technology, especially a science technology, is maybe a little risky. But also, taking a city from them is pretty good. Doyak is a two-borough city. They have extractors up on the stuff already, so we get that. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad city at all, and it gives us a lot of regional control. It gives us a path to Chaka. I actually like it quite a bit. I think we're going to go ahead and do it. maybe this is risky, or maybe this is a bad deal. But if blue gets out of control, we can maybe help red kill them. Okay, a little bit of friendship here. So 6 turns until we have our cool new trait. We don't have a unit over here to come and grab this. I suppose that's a benefit of finishing this ended. Although, actually, we have, we do have this guy. I think my plan originally was to teleport him down here to support the army, but maybe that's not necessary. The army's doing quite well. Oh, the army would love to retrofit as well. These are the ended. Yes, these are the ended with the spears. Okay. So this upgrade is just armor and stuff. It's not nothing, but it's also not crucial. Yeah, I think I'll just have... We have time. Thanks to our perfect eclipse knowledge, we know that we have time for this guy to come back and grab this as long as nobody else grabs it first. And in fact, since he already has a movement conflux, he can probably get these both in 5 turns, which will definitely be helpful. Okay, I think we have some direction here. So we're going after Shulna, depending on where we attack Shulna from. Okay, if we attack like this, we don't get the main city garrison or that golem camp garrison. I think that's probably the way we want to do it. If we attack Shulna, we are leaving Graldam open to attack from this little army, but, I mean, obviously we'll just take it back. I'd love to not lose it at all, but I don't think it hurts us to lose it. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Okay, well, that's the plan then. We're just going to run down here and attack. This should be a very, very easy fight, unless there's an enemy army standing like right there that we can't currently see. I guess my plan is actually going to be to walk to right here, quickly assess the situation, and then see if we still want to attack. Okay, looks clear. Oh, the third Urkan has emerged. He's emerged right here. Oh my gosh, is that... I was trying to... Yep, he has his resource cost listed next to him on the thing. That's wonderful. That's a beautiful quality of life change. That makes my life so much easier. We can just see it on their name tag and not have to have a unit go over there and interact with them. Alright, well, let's take Shulna. They built a unit, and somewhere there is a 1-unit army in range that is reinforcing. And they do have a hero, and their hero does have good combat stats. It's not going to be as much of a slam dunk as I was hoping. Alright, hey Red, feel free to show up to this war at like any moment. Apologies, I'm still a little bit recovering. I feel 100% better, except that my throat is still pretty scratchy. And I did not get up to get water between recording Sunless Skies and this, so my water is pretty much empty. So we're going to have to get through 100 health on top of the values we're seeing here. I'm just trying to figure out how best to apply our units. Probably what I want to do here, I think, is have the hero attack this guy, have you attack this guy, and have both of the ended go after the cavalry lord, take advantage of their big fancy new spears. And the Epitanes, do they also need to go after the cavalry lord? They're going to do probably half damage each. So basically bad. They're probably going to do a really bad job. You guys are going to do 57, increased by 50%, and your attack is 106. But remember, the values that we're seeing here are pre-morale. These are all the units as they stand with 0 morale. This guy's actually going to have 30% extra attack, but we're going to have 30% extra attack and way more than that. So we'll probably actually do reasonable damage here. But basically what I'm trying to figure out is whether it's going to be worth it to shoot at this guy, or whether one of the ended is going to clip his fortification off entirely by itself anyway. I think the answer is we may as well have the Epitanes, because we're looking at probably over 100 damage here, but I'm not sure, because I don't know exactly how the attack versus defense math works. Let's just let the Ended go after it. This guy only has 2 move? No, he has 3 move. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I think what I'm going to do is this. This guy doesn't have a ton of movement speed, and he does little damage. Like, I think I'm more okay with the Rumbler getting through to the range than I would be with the Militia. And then one of you ends up fighting this guy from here, and the other one ends up fighting this guy from here, and we maintain a pretty tight morale grouping this way. And I'm going to have these 3 try to help kill off the Militia. Oh, sorry, they should try to help kill off the Militia that's being attacked by the Shambler, though, huh? Because the hero is definitely going to remove all the fortification himself. Do I want to expose them by running them out all the way to here? We already have a unit planned for there and there. He won't have moved out of this space yet. This space would be really nice for one of them to stand, but sadly this guy goes last. I think it's okay to expose them for 1 turn, since we get to move before the enemy does. Yeah, I was afraid we were going to see a lot more 26s there. They outperformed my expectations pretty significantly. Well, that's just lovely. That's just a really good amount of damage that we're seeing. Okay, I was hoping one of these 2 would attack the hero and get free countered. That's pretty great. You really need to not be the first one to attack this unit. I think our hero can kill their hero, probably. Do I want him to, or do I want to let... I think I want to let this Haunt finish the job, probably. And you can come over here. This guy's going to be dead. I basically just don't want this Haunt to take damage. He's not going to be able to hit anybody safely. And then you guys... It's pretty overwhelmingly likely that we have a kill here. Well... No, actually, the Epitanes are going to have to help with this, I think. They're also going to want to just generally back the hell off. Yeah, because with only one of the Haunts hitting him this turn, I really do want to make sure. Oh, we didn't even get there. Okay, well, I do believe that's the end of that, though. So we'll have just one of you attacking here, the other 2 attacking there. You need to keep running away. You should also run away. Actually, you know what? I could have had them attack, because the hero is attacking this guy first, so he won't have his attack available. Alright, managed to calculate that pretty well. Yeah, I should have had the Haunts attack here, because this guy can't fight back. And I don't actually care about what happens to the hero's health, because he can't die anyway. Just important to keep our units alive. So they do have a real army coming up here. On ourselves, 150 dust and 80 science. Oh, we actually have never normally searched that ruin, but of course there was nothing in it. So here we have a couple of bad orc designs, only 53 damage. I think what's happening with these orcs is that he's running a little bit low on strategic resources and he can't afford to retrofit his units with the coolest, latest stuff. I was going to just let red have Verkal because we do need red to get more powerful so that we can use them as a battering ram against blue if such a thing becomes necessary, but I'm starting to get worried they're not going to take it. So what does our assimilation grouping look like now? We do have 2 Herna villages, which give attack. We have Dorgeshi villages, which is interesting. We have 1 Bos. Ooh, Titan Bone income. The fact that we have access to some Titan Bone income and like just generally more luxuries makes me think that maybe it's a good idea to throw the Dorgeshi in as our assimilate just to get those extractors booted up. But we actually are using the haunt units and they're pretty good. Maybe what I should do is research tech to gain another assimilation slot. And we don't want to end our turn on the volcanic terrain, remember, because only Kapaku units get normal health regen on volcanic terrain. So we want to end our turn like over here somewhere. I have 7 movement left. Do we have this? Do we have a circle conflux? We don't. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If we grab this, we're not going to be able to make it back out. If we move to here and grab this 1 pearl, we can still make it back to that tile afterward. Cannot afford to grab the circle conflux. We could just fall back and grab this circle conflux. Really thought we had one already. Yeah, let's just fall back to here. And then we'll move forward a little bit again. This is all road movement, so we're not actually spending that much. Okay, there we go. Even better health regen. Okay, so this guy would have to give 30 dust water to Khazar, which is a thing that cannot happen unless somebody might have some. We should try to find out if they do, because this would both be very good for us in the sense that it's just good to have Urkans, and also in the sense that it moves our faction quest forward. Oh, interesting. He has enough dust water to solve our problem. But we can't resource trade with him, because in order to go for a resource trade, you have to be at peace or higher, or at least able to offer peace. I think it's interesting that he's so much less into a truce than he was just like a couple of minutes ago. We could give him a bad early tech, like Imperial coinage or something. If I gave him that, we could maybe even get more out of him. Get some mithrite, which we know is basically just money. We could take all of his pearls. He's down to give us all of his pearls. I love that. What if we did like this deal? Then we can just buy the rest of the dust water. That's very interesting. So it's possible that we could just wipe purple out, right? But we do see a brand new army running up. Nobody else has enough dust water. Nobody else has any dust water, right? Right, I'm clicking on the wrong people here. Yeah, nobody else has any dust water at all, which means it's possible that nobody else in the world is gaining dust water, and that even if we were to wait some turns, you know, it's not like we will be able to get dust water from blue in 2 turns. If he's not mining it, he's not getting any. So this is Khazar. We can't route him to regions where we have cities, but we can bring him over to like support our armies. Does he have good combat stats? Is he one of the good combat stat Urkans? They're not bad, and they're not bad at level 1. That is definitely interesting. I don't really want a truce with purple, but I think the benefit here is pretty great. I really want to just take the rest of purple's stuff, though. I mean, we could just pressure purple, take another city or two, like make sure we get their capital from them, and then do this. And we could attack their capital next turn. I don't know where those three units that ran out of Balther's garrison, I guess, are in the Golem Camp garrison now. That's what those 3 units are. And that's pretty great for us, actually. We can attack without taking on Lost Lies garrison. They have a ton of extractors up. Like, look at all the tiles we would gain. This Golem Camp is next to 2 anomalies. Yeah, we can't take a deal that ends with us not having Balther. We have to take Balther from them. I love that they have this narrow group of tiles that keeps Urkan technically connected to the rest of their empire. Alright. We might lose Shulna, which I don't want to. And we're talking about delaying gaining Khazar here. My biggest problem with delaying Khazar is that I really want this guy to turn in these resources and then teleport through the ruin, right? Teleport through the ruin and get on these other 2. Well, somebody just searched that temple ruin. But yeah, I think this is right. We can go ahead and take peace after we take Balther. We should get a pretty big boost of health regen on all of our fungal units, and a still pretty good regen bonus on the other units here. We can afford to do the retrofit. I guess we probably ought to. And then we take Balther, we quickly negotiate for peace. Hopefully we don't lose Shulna, because I actually want to keep Shulna pretty badly. If he attacks Shulna, does that delay the... That might delay us again. And like, we have to attack Balther in a way that doesn't include that army. So I might attack it from here, because like they're going to have some time to move. Yeah, I think this is the plan. We go here, we take Balther, we get a nice deal from purple that includes all of that dust water. We buy the dust water from the market, which we will probably be able to do. Yeah. With the extra money, and we can figure it out. We can make it happen. Okay. Alright, that's the plan then. And the cities are all doing reasonable things. You're still working on that. Oh, we're going to want money for titanium next turn too. Well, alright, let's not stress too much about the dust. One problem at a time. Maybe we don't build our next science building immediately. It wouldn't be the end of the world. I think we got pretty lucky here. With that Urkan coming up and wanting a resource that, like, I think just uniquely I am in a position to take advantage of. Although it seems like the AI doesn't do resource deals for the Urkans anyway. They seem to prefer conquering them by force. Come on, get over there. Okay. So Makani Che is pretty tough, but overall I think this battle's going to be a little bit easier than the last one. The Ended are probably going to die, but we're planning to end the war right here. They did gain a ton of fortification on this city between this turn and last turn, which is kind of annoying, but we'll get through. We'll figure it out. I guess it would be a little bit of a shame if our hero died early in the battle here. Maybe I have to be a little more careful about that than usual. But also, Makani Che is going to get a turn. Okay. We're going to just focus everything on him really quickly. And he is a cavalry unit. Yeah. Yep, we're just going to focus everything on him. Except this guy. I think with the ability to fly, we'll be able to fly one of the haunts over to here and attack him from behind. So we'll be able to lay a lot of damage on, and then this guy will just attack someone, one of these dudes. But you cannot fly over. Thought I remembered it being the case that they could. Well, whatever. It's fine. So you're going to move to here and attack there. Okay, all the other units that can attack you are attacking you. I'm just going to fly this dude over here. I think there's a pretty good chance that none of the militia are targeting him. I want him around for the second round on Makaniche, because we're definitely not going to get him right now. It's possible that our hero would have just gotten through all the fortification by himself, but I wanted to be sure it was going to go down. Yeah, he was going to get through all by himself. Oh, I did tell him to move adjacent to an enemy, didn't I? So he attacks. Okay, well, I do believe we've got this then. You guys attack him if he's still alive. He has 141 health. So actually, the hero's going to kill him. Yeah, we should refocus the Ibetanes elsewhere. Let's do our best to kill... Like, what are the odds that the hero has it? 300 attack. He's guaranteed to get at least full normal damage. So 100%. He has it for sure. Alright. Everybody focus up. It's going to be a little bit close. There's just like a lot of health for us to get through. Wait, did I really do that? How? How did I really do that? How did I just tell the hero not to attack the unit the hero needed to attack? Alright, well yeah, you guys finish him off because apparently I'm an idiot. The hero should attack the unit that has the most health. Get a good chain lightning off here. Okay. 28. And you remember when you guys were briefly really good at fighting? There we go. We got there. The hero can strip all that guy's fortifications pretty easily. Chain lightning through. Vine this dude to the ground. Okay. Alright, we got it. I'm getting a little spacey, apparently, and forgetting who needs to be commanded to do what. God, our hero's a good fighter. Okay, so we've taken their capital. This should result in a pretty good peace deal. They're going to make a move on it, which, you know, makes sense. I can see why they would do that. Wait, near them. I'm just trying to make sure that these guys don't have an easy attack. And they have taken back Shulna. No big surprise, but Wait, Shulna. Oh, they destroyed the golem camp at Shulna, but didn't actually attack the city. Wild. Okay. Oh, Chaka has become blue. Again, concerned about blue. Alright, well, let's execute the plan from here, then. So, purple. Oh, where did purple's dust water go? Did they put it on the market? No? Did it just disappear? It better not have. They must have traded it... They either traded it to somebody or they used it all. If they used it all, they did. So now it's not possible for us to take this Urkan by peaceful means. Yeah, they just used it. That's very annoying. Alright, well, that's going to refigure the peace deal a little bit. We could not get them to give us one of the other cities. But I mean, we probably have removed them from the game, right? Yeah, they used all of it. What a bunch of assholes. So we could get Imperial Highways pretty easily if we don't take any of their pearls. Give them, like, a small amount of Palladian, which we can totally afford to lose. I did not click on that. Yeah. Alright, I'll take this deal. I'm pretty bummed out about that, though. I'm still down for the peace deal, because I'm starting to feel like we're running a little thin on the ground. Good not to have to defend all of this stuff. So we can just run our army up there. Right, we could use our teleportation ruin, outside of Daramard. We need to come up here and kill this dredge anyway. And we don't actually have a super easy way of doing that. I guess you can just teleport over there. No reason not to, right? We don't actually need him to be here. Those are just ships. It's not like... Yeah, I don't think it's the case that anybody else is going to interfere with us here. Alright, so we can do that. It is currently, without this guy here, it was the case that this dredge actually could just destroy the city. Now that we have a unit in the area, he cannot. So our holdings are pretty safe. We are all up in Purple's League. Purple's out of the game, effectively. We don't have to finish things right now. Man, if 9S... Oh, we're on volcanic terrain. We're not going to get any regen this turn. That sucks. There's also, like, those little spots of volcanic terrain. Like, I didn't realize that this was volcanic over here, which is why we got no health regen. But we'll be able to get proper regen on this coming turn. All the way up here. Actually, we can just teleport on this coming turn. That's kind of crazy. Roads. Roads are very powerful. We're not going to be able to take out Khazar in this state, though. Like, it doesn't help us to teleport over there right away. Well, we'll figure out a plan. So we finished our big science building here, and we would like to run another big science building. But I guess I can do right-of-way quickly first. We'll worry about the science building next turn, because I do want right-of-way, and I do want another unit or two available for the purpose of pushing Khazar, because we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way now. We're going to finish Plow Factory this turn. We no longer need to pick up Imperial Highways. So what is next? The large-scale aquatic center has some value. But it might just be dust alchemy for the dust transmuter. Right, this tech is fine. An extra trade route from our city, I guess, would be a nice thing to have. A 60% reduction in Urkan training cost would drop that to 12, right? Maybe we take Urkan politics. If we can get this this done before the Urkan moves, we probably still have exclusive access to him. It would drop the cost to 12 Dustwater, which we can buy. And then we can, and then we'll get a bonus on all of our other diplomacy costs, because we'll be able to say to the other empires, you know, the Urkan would really appreciate it if you would do this for us. He probably wouldn't even kill you all. Kind of remarkable that we're capable of diplomacy, but somehow we're figuring it out. Alright. So Purple can't mess with my stuff, which is great. It was starting to be the case that we were having like a pretty large undefended front here. And we could have tried to eliminate Purple all the way from the game, but I don't know that it actually is beneficial to us to do so. Like, they're removed enough, I think. This unit get over here. Or I'm not. That's also possible. Ozek the Chosen is now level 7. How far are we from the next winter? 9 to 21 turns. I think I'm just going to grab the last level of Inspirational Leader. We might have time for another level up before Cold Operator, or before winter hits, so we might be able to get Cold Operator. Okay, so now we've grouped these guys up, and we don't necessarily... Yeah, like, our tech is actually in an okay place now. We don't necessarily need to fight this Urkan. We could still teleport over to here and search this ruin. And we're going to have to go talk to the Urkan in a couple of turns no matter what. So if I teleport now, we hit the ruin next turn and make it most of the way back. The turn after we teleport over. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Now, I've been very focused on just getting food in the capital. We haven't been building up any fungal blooms anywhere. We have all of our resourcey fungal blooms up. Yeah, that is bloomed. And we've gained a lot of fungal blooms from taking over other players' territory where stuff is already built. It's possible that I should be blooming even more. Especially, I'm thinking like grabbing another ruin that is further down here is probably a good idea because we have more land to hold now. Maybe like here is a good spot. Not really. You know what? I was gonna say it's not really that far from the other one that we already have down here, but it actually sort of is. It would be 42 food per turn for 8 turns, though. That is very costly. Maybe I don't want to bother with that. That's a lot of food. And I'm just going to go ahead and buy the dust water that we're going to need now before something stupid happens. I'm doing that math, right? Yeah. Should be 12 left. Okay, so now we're going to actually get some health regen. Yeah, look at that. That is that is a considerable amount. Okay, so we will in fact be able to teleport next turn. Give him the stuff the turn after, which is still long before he moves and well before anybody else should have access to him. Be the first empire to tame all the... Yeah, not happening. Just not a feasible thing at all. Okay, 130 dust, 50 science. How is our guy doing? Okay, he's very close to a level up. So, I think it's pretty likely that we are going to get Leader of Leaders. Somebody is disposing of one of my fungal blooms. So, these are all those... Well... Yeah, these are those relatively good troops. And that is a, it's a glass steel, or a titanium deposit? Boy, I wish you would not do that. So we could just have one of these ended, use the tunnel system to go and deal with the Urkan, and leave our real army at home. You know, to deal with intruders and stuff. If I were to attack you right here... Wait, aren't we still in truce? We totally are. So I can't attack them, but they can still burn my stuff? Feels like they shouldn't be able to do that in truce, doesn't it? Oh, also... Okay, we're bringing in some dust and science. Also, our empire status has fallen below fervent. I believe... that we'll be okay on this when we assimilate this city. Right now, this city's approval level is low. The cities that are not all the way Symbiosis do bring down your approval. That's also a little worrying. Hey, we should maybe check the status of diplomacy around the world. So red is still at war with purple, friends with blue. Form a little diplomatic power block here. Green is still not at war with anyone, I think, pretty strongly to their detriment. Alright, let's get some stuff built here. So we need 9 glass steel and 3 titanium. That should be extremely affordable. You know what? Probably those go in the other order, right? And then we can build more districts, and probably should. So we build a district here. It doesn't actually level anything up. The museum's already leveled. Building a district here does give us the watchtower, which, you know, probably doesn't really do anything meaningful. Just looking at this and trying to think, like, what are we expanding toward? And I guess the answer is nothing. Right, we're not actually building... We could try to build toward this other cluster of anomalies, but that's a pretty distant thought. Maybe it's right, though. If we build right here, and then here, we level up our city center, and we just keep building out like this and then bend it downward at some point. This ruin is actually in a really awkward spot. I would love to build it like this. That's a little bit cleaner, but we have to go around the ruin first. So I guess we'll build here first. These are the next 2 burrows. But this one gets us a little bit more exploitation right away. And at some point we want to move our people back to food. So we can't run Pink off. We can't make them stop burning our thing. What am I going to do with my army for the moment? I guess just keep them near the teleportation network. Yeah, maybe I really do want to web up one of the ruins near Shulna. The mobility is pretty considerable. Or maybe it would be better to do one of the ones near Balthar. My concern with this is that they're so far to the west in this zone. I'd really like something that's closer to the cities. We could just buy it out. It is currently Dust Eclipse time. That would be 736 dust. Holy crap. And the Dust Eclipse ends this turn. So it's either do this now or just wait the 8 turns. Alright, I think we're on wait the 8 turns. I think the mobility of that is too great to ignore it. We have to do that. Okay, let's see if this all works out the way I wanted it to, if I can indeed do basic math. So Urkan politics finishes, and yep, 12 dust water. There you go, buddy. And we get to keep all the lice and everything. And he's now extracting all of the resources here for us, which is cool. Probably not something that we're going to keep him doing for too terribly long. We'll probably move him over to where he can be useful as a military force. Somebody built the Alchemic Institute. We should have a look into that. And we have gained an Urkan. Our time spent studying the ways of the Urkans was not wasted. We have tamed the great beasts and learned some of their weaknesses. Now I must better understand the balance that we seek, and be ready for the endless winter. Step 6. Entering Phase 6 on turn 70 is not quite as fast as I was hoping we were going to be able to go at the beginning of the game. We really were hauling ass on the quest at the beginning, but it's still potentially winnable. Deep in my slumber, away from my corporeal perceptions, I hear them. A faint babble, not unlike the gentle susurration of waves on the shore. Listen more carefully, though, and the murmur becomes more like a chorus of lullabies. They are the voices of children of Auriga, long assimilated into the Mykaran collective, and I am simply the most recent of their number, the youngest sibling. I know not their names, and even though their bodily forms have no doubt enmeshed into the mycelial fabric, to such a degree that identification would be impossible without instruments of science. I can feel their heritage. Among the refrain I detect a Draken, Wildwalker, Sister of Mercy, Necrophage, even a Morgaur. No doubt there are others I cannot yet discern. I imagine they are in communion, conversing, pleading, persuading, a combined influence on the intentions of the Mykara who harbors them all. They carry the history of their people, the history of Auriga. The winter grows harsher every cycle. We must sharpen our weapons and weaken our enemies, so the Mykara and all its voices survive. We must strengthen the Urkans we control and defeat the armies of lice that threaten the Mykara's survival. 6 Urkan upgrades must be unlocked. Well, 6 Urkan upgrades are unlocked. I think that's just going to autocomplete at the beginning of next turn, which is cool. Yeah, I would have to make a formal declaration of war, because we are currently at truce. This feels a little crappy, that there's no counterplay at all here. I guess I could just stand over there and make my displeasure known. We could also run over here and fight these necrophages. Because I don't know what they're doing, but I don't like it. The Harmonites they have are tough. Those damage numbers are okay. Their defenses and their attack values are starting to fall behind a little bit. Although ours are also behind. Yeah, we're a little bit better than them. The Foragers are weak, but remember, disease is a problem. Fortunately, the Ended are immune to it. Or the Ended. And they have a Battleborn who also doesn't really have stats that are that great. We could probably take that army down. It would potentially raise the ire of Green, but Green's going to have a hard time attacking us. It's sort of like inconvenient for them to do so. I kind of wish Blue would move Chaka somewhere, because I would love to move our Urkan to this region. It's actually adjacent to two of our things. I assume that any Urkan upgrades that it has would apply to the resources coming out of our overgrown cities. Alright, remember that our Urkan is going to get some pretty significant debuffs during winter. But yeah, maybe we want to just have him like migrate over to here. Migrate over to here, like to Atmos, and have him serve as backup to fight this army. Both so that there's not a full-size Necrophage army wandering around scouting my territory, and so that we can get XP on both the hero and the Urkan. I think that's probably a good idea, actually. Oh, but you can't migrate him to a region you own. You have to migrate him to somewhere uncontrolled and then walk him to a region you own. Well, we do have the option of just burning one of the overgrown cities, don't we? Is that a thing I can do? I thought I remembered that being a thing we could do. Not that I would. I definitely wouldn't. But I thought we could. Apparently not. Okay, well, and we don't get the option to... Maybe you can raise cities before you've assimilated them? Is that what I was thinking? Oh, I don't see a button for that either. So our Urkan may just be stuck. Can he walk? Can he travel through water? I don't remember. He might just be trapped over here forever. Well, he is the king of this little island, at least. But you know what we could do to get him some XP is we could fight the minor faction villages on this island. Because I'm certainly not doing this quest. And I mean, we could just auto-resolve that. It's not a lot of XP. See if they'll give us a quest that maybe has a slightly better reward. So I guess I'm still going to run these guys over here in the direction of the Necrophage army. I don't know if we'll fight them or not. But I think they should know that it's at least a possibility, that I might fight them. Alright, nobody's in Era 5 yet, and we're catching up on Era 4 pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and get Dust Alchemy for the Transmuter. We're doing very well on Influence. Still a while until winter, so we're not going to be able to test the chapel for a long time. Doing pretty well on food. Actually, how many people can I move back over to food and still... we get the Advanced Alchemy Lab next turn no matter what. The Burrow Street's the turn after. This might be a good time to, like, really food focus. While we're just sort of building up in a general direction. And I think our faction quest is going to move forward at the beginning of next turn. I have no idea what it might yet ask of us. You're going to level up in a couple of turns, whether you fight somebody or not. The battle's not necessary. Yep, 25 Palladian. Defeat the roaming lice armies in Werevalen and Maribond to gain the Urkan lice technology. The ability to just build Urkan lice? Really? Werevalen and Maribond. Where are those places? Do we not have... Okay, that's Maribond. I don't have vision of a place called Werevalen. I wonder if the other players might handle this for us. The Necrophage has fled. Seems like a wise idea to me. I would also run away. I guess we'll see if we can get down to Maribond. It's not too far away. This might be one of those things where the AI will kill random armies for you and just accidentally accomplish your quests. That would be cool. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. We also could just burn the village. I don't get to see Khazar's XP readout, unfortunately, so I don't know how close he is to leveling. That's a... Oh, this shows me. Okay, so gaining him another 4 XP is not really, like... It's not worth attacking this village just for the XP, and now that they've given us a quest I might actually accomplish... Yeah, I don't know. They can live, I guess. I think, actually, your job is done here. Why don't you just come back home? And there's not much of a reason for us to leave a garrison in the distant, overgrown cities if we have good teleportation ruins around, right? We can just do that as our way of keeping things well defended. So we do need to keep building military units. But also, I have important stuff to do here. We don't even see... Yeah, that couldn't be Werevalen. One of them was already destroyed. So yeah, maybe the AI will do this for us. Unfortunately, we don't know which one was destroyed. It could be the Maribond one. Yeah, there are definitely regions... Okay, let's see if we can negotiate a map exchange from one of our allies. That's a pretty high cost, I think, that we're looking at there. Well, green's certainly not going to give us maps. Oh, red finally took Verkal. Okay, so purple might get eliminated from the game no matter what. This is like a trade me a technology amount of influence that must be gained. They don't want commercial agreements, which is pretty bizarre. They don't want any of our techs, so we actually can only get this deal by trading them 28 Palladian plus something, plus like these emeralds. We don't actually have a lot of use for the Palladian right now. I guess like diplomacy and selling it to the market is all that we get out of it. We probably are going to pick up weapons tech at some point. And once we do that, we might want it. I'll take the deal. Show me the rest of the world that you know of. It wasn't that much. And we don't see any place that could be Werevalen. There's two L's in this name. That has an AN at the end. We were looking for a YN. So, unless I'm looking right over it. Is this all one region? This is Yopoli, this is Lost Lie. So Wervelin can only be down here, basically. Which means that if we, oh! Or it's right there, or maybe it's just right there. Okay, well we're actually pretty close to both Wervelin and Maribond then. Good. Good, good. It is kind of weird that the overgrown cities keep their population counter. I guess it's that, like, if Pink took Doyak, it would have 7 citizens in it for them. They're just going to burn my extractor, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm very annoyed. The spices are probably worth reboosting. Ah, lice. Found them. Okay, it looks like they were coming to me anyway. Is blue closing their borders on me? No, it's purple. I thought it was a possibility. Alright, so these lice are... Oh, hey! The pink army just moved away and didn't finish destroying this. And it's going to heal relatively quickly. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we gotta deal with the spices. What is this? Discover a total of 3 science-based technologies. Okay, so we're about to get 25 Palladian from a quest reward. That's nice. Burrow streets are finished, and I would love to build a dust transmuter. So let's do that then. And then we actually don't have enough population to build another burrow, but we'll get there. And what are you doing? Are you just... I guess you're just sitting in the capital and providing XP to Ozek the Chosen. The dust transmuter is a pretty large amount of industry, so that's going to be a pretty big XP boost. He's definitely going to be able to get Cold Operator before this coming winter. Which is good, because the winter effects are starting to get kind of annoying. I don't know... I assume that no negative effects from winter won't affect this. We'll stop this from happening, and that's very annoying. This doesn't really have any effect. Yeah, when winter starts, we're going to have to really run units around our teleportation network quickly to try to get to 25 pearls. Alright, so, spices. Is it possible for me to rerun the spice booster right now? There's a ton on the market. Wow. Boosters have gotten expensive. We have a lot of territory now. And even though that city is now properly assimilated, and as such all of our cities are, properly overgrown, rather, our approval level is sub-fervent. I'm pretty surprised by that, given the leveled up Museum of Auriga in our capital. Oh, okay, we can destroy overgrown cities. Oh, we still don't have full ownership of these cities. I wonder if that's affecting the approval level. I wonder if we'll see it go up. But we can also fix our approval level, of course, as always, through just getting a lot of luxuries going, which is probably the path that we're going to have to pursue if we want that done. Unfortunately, there's not a huge number of resources that have enough on the market for us to run them. We could pop a die booster, but it's not enough to push us up to Fervent anyway. That said, it's not very expensive, and it is a lot of extra influence. May as well. It was not a lot of dust. I am definitely feeling better about our position in the world here. Oh, yeah. Sure, we should probably research stuff. So, there's a question. Since we're so far past the point of gaining access to these techs, there's a question of whether these techs would even be worth upgrading to, or if we should maybe try to wait. Obviously, the wait to Tier 2 Adamantine and Palladian weapons is pretty long. We could grab... What else would we grab? We need 2 more? I mean, I think it is still probably worth getting Public Granary. And, like... Aqua Pulvistics is greater than 0 value. Management Sciences would be okay. You know what? Maybe we actually want Central Market now. Yeah. Plus 10% food and plus 10% dust. Okay. Sure, that makes sense. Alright, so let's have at these guys. This should not be a difficult battle, I don't think. Yeah, their stats are alright. Their defenses are pretty low, though. I think we got them. Also, our specialized polyp has hit his 8th level, which means even more health regen on our Empire. Red would like an alliance. Certainly worth considering. This happened. Raised the Science Ministry level by 1 more than previously is not a cheap thing to do, and the reward for it is bad, so we probably will just ignore this quest. Alright. We can now fight Pink's units in our territory again, which we may do. Alright, let's resolve this battle. So a couple of our units are slower than they are. They're fast as infantry. So the spears will not be particularly helpful here. Alright, well... So we want to have all the Epitanes attack one. The hero attacks a different one, probably? Their defenses are quite low. So yeah, all the Epitanes attack one of them, the hero attacks a different one. Then we have the Ended who acts before them attack the one that the Epitanes were after. Because we can probably kill it between the lot of them, or we can at least get it close. And I think this is a fine starting position. So like, you'll attack here, you'll attack here, you will attack from here, that same guy. Hero just gets you. And then your plan can be to have it that guy as well. Let's see. Let's see how well this works. Okay, we did not get our damage in a half, which I was hoping we would. But still, that was a pretty good outcome. So... yeah, the Epitanes all have at this dude. Hero can go after you. I guess you should attack this guy. And I'm hopeful about the chain lightning damage. Oh, somebody's messing with one of my blooms again. Well, if it's pink, we actually have a plan. Okay, easy enough. We are making that nice fast progress again. Where am I being harassed? That same pink army. It is possible they will see me coming and disengage. So we've gained the ability to build Urkan lice. For some reason they do not have an image. Oh, the Urkan lice from the different Urkans are actually different units. They seem to have identical stats, though. Yeah, weird. The Urkans we've tamed are strong, and the dangerous lice armies vanquished. Now we are ready to begin protecting more of Auriga's heritage before the snows turn the surface into an icy tomb. In the long silences, I begin to discern the voices of others more clearly. They are singing, a rich tapestry of music composed of many threads, each telling a piece of Auriga's history. In my mind's eye, I see glittering cities of chrome and glass lancing up to the heavens, citadel-like eyries on snowy peaks, a band of hunched survivors trekking a devastated wasteland, each a remembrance from the Mykaran collective. I feel the stream of visions as a conversation, but I still lack the insight to follow the nuances, and the images come to me unexpectedly, jumping between long-separated eras like the attentions of a capricious god. I don't think those that were once Wildwalker or Morgar or Endless or whoever retain much sense of their own identity, and I feel the same thing happening to myself. The deeper I dive into the Mykaran collective, the more closely I can follow the sympathy, the further I feel from my old self. I was a Vaulter. Yes, a Vaulter leader. Something terrible happened to my people, but I forget the reasons. I only remember the fear and terror. It doesn't matter, it's over now. I'm sure the collective remembers anyway. Now, my purpose is to spread the Mykara far and wide. Dispersal makes us safer, protects us from the whims of disaster. Most of all, as the unending winter threatens the world, it helps us preserve Auriga's past. To overgrow a city and integrate the Conquered's faction trait. This might autocomplete. It might mean we have to do a new one, which would be tricky, because it would have to be a new faction. So it basically would have to be the Necrophages. But probably, my guess is this will just autocomplete on the next turn. So it turns out, we have been making progress toward our faction quest this entire time. And we'll unlock the Kernel of Plentitude. Plus 10 food, science, and dust for each city. That seems very good. Alright, well let's hope that does in fact just complete. Okay. So it's a little tricky to attack these guys here, because they'll get the benefit of the units garrisoned in their golem camp and also in Herkuf. Obviously, the two in Herkuf are just militia, but still annoying. Well, I think I might disengage you guys from here and just get you over here. We need to at least make a show of force. We need to make it obvious to Pink that this is not a safe thing to do. And maybe we need to build another unit? I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to put anything in the queue because I want any rollover industry from this to be available for building the Kernel of Plentitude if it does indeed just become available to us at the start of this coming turn. And let's do one more turn here. I did just look at the time. Once I get going, it does always seem to fly. So I'm hoping that Pink will just back off. I don't really need to fight them. I don't know that it's hugely beneficial for us to fight them. Alright, somebody moved up into the next era. Pink is mad about the fact that we captured a city from purple. And it looks like they're kind of calling my bluff here. And it also looks like it is in fact the case that we have to overgrow a new city and integrate the Conquered's faction trait. So we only have one faction from whom we can still integrate a trait, right? We already have this one and this one and this one. I mean, it's possible that the thing would just move forward if we captured a new city, even if it didn't result in us gaining a new trait. So maybe we want to go to war with Pink and try to take Herkuf. It's not super easy for us to get... We don't know what the status of green cities is. It might be really easy to take Maribond. That's potentially the case, right? I guess we'll have to find out. So, for now, a central market would be a really cool thing to get into the queue. Do I really have no glass steel income? Man, I guess we don't really need it. Oh, that's right, my glass steel extractors got busted up. Well, we do have one that we could build over here, but honestly, the amount of glass steel we still use, it's probably not worth it. Alright, so that'll level up the city center, which is a little bit of approval. And then when we build the district here, it'll level up. Actually, this guy's going to be level 2 right away. So this is actually going to be a significant amount. We probably don't even need the central market's approval bonus, because we're about to put down a level 2 district and level up an existing district to level 2. So I think that would push us to 90 regardless. But this makes it very safe. We won't have to worry about it falling when we lose resource boosters or anything. We have an empire plan coming up soon, and we're just absolutely killing it on influence without even having to try, which is great. Is Public Granaries the last tech before Era 4? Somebody just entered Era 5, so we're a whole era behind on tech. Not great, but it's also not, like, cripplingly bad. It does mean that there's potentially a lot of... If it was pink who got ahead of us, that could be a little awkward. Let's try to feel out the situation here. Pink is not at war with anybody. Blue is not at war with anybody. Green is not at war with anybody. Red and purple are still going at it. How's that going? Badly for purple. Okay, I think purple's going to get eliminated from the game. Fine by me. And we gained a lot of resources off of them before it happened. We are mining Titan bones out of the ground. Maybe it would be worthwhile to switch over to Dargeshi. I mean, Dargeshi units serve a similar sort of cavalry purpose to Haunted. They're not as... to Ended. They're not as good at actually fighting as Ended are, but they do have that cool charging stun thing that they do. Plus 1.5 resources per turn on all of our luxury extractors. Keep in mind, of course, that then after that 1.5 is added, all the values are getting halved. But still, that might be worth doing. That's definitely something to think about. Alright, I think this is where we're going to call it for today. It looks like if we want to be able to win the game via quest-type victories, we are probably going to have to go back to war. Hopefully that's a thing we can figure out how to do. It would be really a lot better for us if we could get our Urkan over here, but I don't know of an easy way to do it. If you do, please do. Feel free to leave that in the comments below. And that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, Monday, when we apparently must spill blood once more. It's their fault for having blood in the first place. And we'll see you then.